How's it going, guys, and welcome to the main channel. We have another video here today. This is gonna be a review for the very much anticipated and interesting anime Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So pretty much I feel like at this time most people have seen the anime, but I still want to talk about it because there was a lot of things that to me stood out in like ways that maybe I just kind of want to talk about it basically. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first of all, I want props to the team that worked on this, because this is something very different from everything that I've seen so far. It does very much feel like a merge, like a collaboration, if you will, of Japanese and the Western writing. Like they did such a good job of kind of like merging the two teams together. You can clearly think there was a lot of hands involved, not only from the team that worked on this, Studio Trigger, who does an amazing job, but also from the writing team that worked on the original Cyberpunk game. You can kind of see a mixture of both here. Very much some of the times while I was watching this, it really reminded me of every time that I was playing the game, not just in like aesthetics or references, but just the writing itself very much felt like Cyberpunk 2077 or like the Cyberpunk universe, and that is amazing. I wonder if Mike Pondsmith, the writer or creator of the original Cyberpunk 2020, I wonder if he had a lot of involvement in it. I believe he did, because he had a lot of involvement in the game. So I am assuming that he was also very much hands-on in the anime project, and if he wasn't, the team did an amazing job kind of making the combination between the original game and the anime in a really well paced situation. I don't know the specifics of it, but to me it does feel like they did an amazing job with everything that we've seen so far. It's something that very much never seen in this aspect so far, so congratulations to the team. I want to say they did such an amazing job with it. But kind of overall, I just kind of want to talk my opinion about this and everything, because I do feel overall they did a really good job in a lot of different ways. So first of all, story is fantastic, phenomenal. In fact, I will even go the extra mile. I'm gonna piss off some people here, maybe not. This is actually, story-wise, way better than what is on 2077. Now, the thing about 2077 is it was very much tied, from what I know, to the original 2020, to Cyberpunk 2020. It was almost like, I guess, like a sequel to it, if you will. It did have a lot of references to that itself, story-wise. Johnny Silverhand being a big one that is kind of tied to the main story, so that kind of makes sense because it is tied of you know, the Arasaka thing and everything like that. But what I feel about the anime is that it does such an amazing job as being its own thing, while at the same time staying within the canon. A lot of things just felt like it made perfect sense within the world of Cyberpunk, and it's something that maybe not all the time is able to make sense. I don't know how they did it, because honestly, if you look at things like Marvel or Star Wars or any big thing where there's like a bunch of stuff, sometimes things like that really end up kind of feeling like a little off, like something just doesn't feel like fits kind of well in the world or anything like that, especially because anime is a completely different medium from something like video game. It is a completely different medium, and this is not only just a video game. Like, I've seen anime and video games put together and everything, no problem, but the fact that this is a Western video game made into a all Japanese cast, you know, like if it's a Studio Trigger, is a Japanese, because you know, you've seen a lot nowadays, a lot of anime like things. For example, one of them being the League of Legends series that they did not too long ago. The game escapes me at this particular time, but it's amazing as well. But at the same time, it is made by a Western studio, so it does feel like anime, but at the same time, there is nothing inherently Japanese about it. But Cyberpunk does feel like, one, very much still Cyberpunk, but it feels Japanese in a lot of ways. At the same time, the animation is amazing. Studio Trigger, like always, did such a fucking amazing job with this. In fact, I will say this is one of their best works as of yet. And I love Gurren Lagann. I love Kill la Kill. I love a lot of the projects they've done. I even love the Star Wars stuff that they've done, because they actually worked with Star Wars before as well. And what they did there was amazing. What they did here is also very much something that it feels very much itself. They have an amazing team of not only creators, writers, the team. They all do such a good job of merging the world, the universe, because even the Star Wars stuff that they did, which was, by the way, fucking insane, very much felt like a Star Wars story. And here you get a cyberpunk story that is very much a cyberpunk story through and through. Everything else, everything about like how sad it is, how heart-wrenching it is, because that's how the world of cyberpunk is. It is very dark. It's very they make you care for the characters, and they later kick you right in the guts and throw you in like a way where you really just get fucked, because that's how the world is. And I love how they were able to kind of show that in here. Very, very good job, guys. I mean, I can go on and on about the writing and everything. Animation, fantastic, amazing. The soundtrack, by the way, such a fucking amazing soundtrack. If you haven't already, play the game. The game actually has a lot of the same tracks from all the anime tracks, I'm sorry, are from the game. And I love that because it's in canon, is within like stuff that you will hear in the universe of Cyberpunk, because it is part of the songs that you can listen to when you're on the radio and everything. I recognize a lot of the songs, and while I was just watching it, the creator of this must have been like an A and B creator. Like, I don't know, somebody in the team must have made A and Bs as a fan, because there's literally AMVs within the anime. There are parts when there is no talking, there's just like ambience of like, you know, people talking on the background, and like the streets, the music, that kind of stuff, all playing very in synergy. But at the same time, you have cutscenes from like the anime, like maybe like some throwbacks from early scenes, that kind of stuff. It very much felt like I'm watching an AMV, but it's the anime itself. And the music is phenomenal. Every single track that I listened to, because Cyberpunk 2077 had amazing soundtrack. You can say whatever about the game, I don't care. But the soundtrack itself is phenomenal, and they did such an amazing job here. And looking now, everything that they've done so far, 2077, Cyberpunk, the Edgerunners series, I feel more confident about them in the future. But that being said, I think the only problem that I have with the anime, and I'm just kind of bringing it back together, I feel like it's basically just gonna be the fact that there is not enough in here. There's just not enough cyberpunk. There's not enough story. It's something about it's just a little bit slow that I'm like, oh man. Because the story is bit, and then bam, shock, and then that's it. You know, like that's the end of it and everything. It felt like it was lacking maybe just a little bit, maybe like an episode or two, then to let people marinate and explore the world and everything. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.